Bonjour, bienvenue. Welcome to an introduction to French at Hills Road. My name is Amélie Bowers, and together with Angela and Henry, we will explain to you what the French A-level course involves. So first, Angela, why French? Why did you choose French?
So I really enjoyed studying French at GCSE level. I really like the language, and I find languages really interesting. And yeah, I thought that it would be nice to continue it and hopefully get it up to a higher standard.
Yes, and what about you, Henry?
I have always liked speaking the language. I think it's a really pretty language, and also my family goes to France a lot on a holiday, so it serves quite a good purpose to carry on and expand my knowledge of it.
Henry, how does French fit with your other A-levels?
Um, Quite loosely, I do biology and geography other than French, so there's not much of a link, but it was something that I wanted to do and I could use in the future to work in French-speaking countries.
Excellent. What about you, Angela?
So my other subjects are music and English lit, and I don't know. I wouldn't say they fit particularly well, but I can see my skills from the subjects being used for the others. So especially my essay skills that I've developed in French and in English, they've helped each other.
Excellent, super, thank you. So, as Angela and Henry have explained, one of the main reasons for choosing French is usually because you've enjoyed speaking at GCSE or you've enjoyed learning about a language at GCSE. Another reason to choose French at A-level is because French is spoken in over 88 countries in the world, and it's the fifth most spoken language. And by doing the French A-level course, you will discover more about French cultures, French-speaking countries' cultures as well, so not just France, but the whole of the world. And you'll discover more about the people, their habits, their customs. It's a chance, in fact, to become a more informed person about the world. And you will develop a broad perspective on a wide range of issues. So if you enjoy speaking, if you're curious about other cultures, if you like exchanging points of view with people, if you're keen to understand how a language works, then the French course is the one for you. During the first year, you will cover 6 topics, so it's a bit like GCSE, but the topics are more challenging. So, for example, you may have learned at GCSE how to use mobile phones, but here we're going to talk more widely about how cyber society and new technologies are helping different countries. So the topics during the first year are changing nature of family, the cyber society, the place of voluntary work. There's also a range of cultural topics. So we look at cultural heritage, why there's so many castles in France, for example, contemporary French music. For example, rap is the first music listened in France, and we look at the cinema as an art form as well. In the second year, the topics increase in complexity, and we will look at diverse society, life of the marginalized. So, for example, how are we helping or not people that live on the fringes of society? We consider the question of criminals and how they're treated. So, for example, should all criminals stay in prison? And we look at also contentious topics such as what's the right age to vote for young people, demonstrations and strikes, and politics and immigration. So there's plenty there for everyone to discuss and to form different opinions. So, and during year 12, you will study a film, either Les 400 coups, which is a masterpiece from La Nouvelle Vague, or La Haine, which is about French suburbs, depending on your teacher's specialty. At the end of year 12, we will do a short text of literature to prepare you for studying a full literature text. That will happen in year 13, and you will either study Candide by Voltaire, which is a text touching of a universal topic of happiness, or L'étranger by Camus. Another aspect of Year 13 is the independent research project. So every student chooses a project of their own. It's highly individualized. It is in relation with French-speaking cultures and countries, but it can be as diverse as looking at a French feminist and her impact on society, to a period of a history, or looking as well at things like why is rap music so important in France, for example. Lessons tend to be quite varied. For example, every week we will go to the language lab. You will also have a conversation class, for example. You will work either individually, in pairs, or as part of a group. They're also challenging because we will make sure that you develop your fluency to a near native speaker, so all the lessons are in French. Angela and Henry, do you want to share what you really enjoy about the lessons and what you found particularly challenging? Angela, if you want to start.
So I really enjoyed studying the film La Haine. I thought it was really interesting. We hadn't done any film studies before. And I really enjoyed the conversation class because it's just a small group of us with the French native speaker, and we're just talking, practicing our fluency. And I think that was probably one of the most challenging things to start with. But I find it quite amazing to see how much I've improved. And from the beginning of the year, when I could only understand a few words, to now being able to understand the whole conversation, it's amazing.
Thank you. And you, Henry?
I've really enjoyed the music topic because I listen to a lot of music, a lot of different types of music. So it was nice to expand my knowledge on French music, as well as using some of my knowledge to help in things like conversation class. I think the most recent topic we did was volunteer work, and I enjoyed how much I could understand because of the work we've done in other topics. I was able to express my opinions more, as well as just, being able to learn about more things.
Excellent, thank you very much. We also encourage students to develop their ideas, as Angela has explained, even conversation class, but also in the classroom with lots of groups discussions as well. Finally, we attach a lot of importance to your independent study skills, so we'll help you develop your independent study skills to a very high standard, and that will make you equipped for either work later on or university life. Beyond the classroom, we offer a range of resources, but also some regular lunchtime events, such as visiting speakers or competitions. We've got a very lively French society, which is student-led, and we offer both support through lunchtime sessions or extension classes in Year 13 for those that want to take their knowledge further. Additionally, we have a number of competitions in which we shine, for example, linguistic Olympiads, or we also have a debating competition, and every year we go to Montpellier for the exchange as well. We've got a long-standing agreement with a school in Montpellier. It's been going on for 20 years, and it's the surest way to develop your fluency because you're totally immersed in the language for 10 days. So an example of what one of our students have said as well, I'll leave you to read it here. And another student as well. And as you can see, Sam didn't go on to study languages directly. So, Angela, do you want to tell us what you intend to do after next year?
Yes, so I'm looking to study French and linguistics, or maybe French with some other modern languages, picking up from scratch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not too sure where. I'm thinking about maybe Oxford, because I'd like to also take up an organ scholarship because that's one of my other interests.
What about you, Henry?
I'm looking to do marine biology, or another branch of biology at university. Thinking about maybe going to Exeter, and French doesn't play a huge role in that, but I'm sure it'll help in some way.
In some way, excellent. As you can see from our results and a comparison with the national results as well, it's a testimony of how much our students are enjoying the course and how well they're doing as well. As Angela and Henry have mentioned, doing a modern language can fit with any subject, and it doesn't necessarily take people straight to a languages degree. There are umpteen combinations possible, so from French with another language ab initio, modern languages, but also, like Henry, you can do biology, lots of other subjects. However, having done French means you can open the doors to having a year abroad, which is probably the most interesting aspect of it as well. So thank you very much for listening. Rejoignez-nous en cours de français si vous voulez. Come and join us. Au revoir. Merci.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.